Hello everybody, my name is Jenna, but you guys can call me Jen, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming at you with a video about my fictional crushes. Now I got this inspiration from watching Emma Books' video on her fictional crushes, so I will link that down below, and without further ado, let's get into it. So the first fictional crush I'm going to talk about is one that was seated deeply in my childhood, and that is Harry Potter himself. I adored Harry Potter when I was younger, but the real crush started when I watched the fourth Harry Potter movie for the first time when I was like 10 or 11, and like I was smitten for a good like month or something. But there's just never been a boy like Harry who has hit me so hard in my life. So he gets the spot of my first crush, my first fictional crush. Since then, I have had many fictional crushes from the Harry Potter world, including Fred Weasley and Remus Lupin. Remus Lupin I am still deeply in love with for many reasons, but there's so many wonderful characters in here that I just couldn't help it, you know? I love them so much. Fred, because he was like a fun teenager, and then like he had a really heartbreaking story, and then he was just so lovely and nice too, like genuinely a nice guy. And then Lupin, because he just is after my own heart. He is so well, like he's just heartbreaking again, like he's got like the world doesn't love him, and he's got like the love of his life, Sirius Black, like was gone for 12 years, and he lost all of his best friends, and then his like best friend's son doesn't even know him, and he still teaches him, and he still teaches him the best lessons he could. Remus Lupin is 100% the love of my life. I love him so much. Anyways, let's move on. The next book boyfriends that I will talk about are in no particular order. I just wanted to start with Harry Potter because, well, that's where it all started for me. So the next one I'm going to talk about is, of course, Mr. Darcy from Pride and Prejudice. How could you not want Mr. Tall, Dark, and Handsome, and Mysterious, and who has Pemberley? Oh, and the Darcy that I love the most, besides the one in the book of course, is our lovely Colin Firth. Oh, you know, that scene where he's in the bathtub in Pride and Prejudice, the miniseries, where he's just thinking of Elizabeth, and he's just like, oh, my life is horrible. Why am I so in love with this girl who doesn't deserve me? You know? That scene is so good. And then his like failed proposal scene to Elizabeth, oh, I die. I just love him. He's just great. He's just wonderful. He has such a redeeming arc in here. I had to include him because he's just amazing. Yes. The next book boyfriend is one that I've discovered only recently, and that is Richard Gansey III from the Raven Boys. He is, from the get-go in this series, I know this is the third book, but like from the get-go in this series, he's just so amazing. Like he's just so passionate about what he does. He's so kind. He wants to do everything for his friends. He takes people in, and he's just so charming and so polite, and oh, I love Richard Gansey. I love him with all my heart. He's just wonderful. I love him. I don't know what I'm doing with this accent, but I just love him. Oh, and I know people are like always crushing on like Ronan, specifically Ronan from this. And I mean, like, I get it. He's a bad boy and whatever, but I've never really been attracted to bad boys in books. So that's why I like Richard Gansey III. Oh, I have to reread this series. I just know I have to. Even though I just finished it recently, I have to reread this series soon. Maybe I'll make it an annual thing, because it's so good. Oh. The next book boyfriend, specifically, is Levi from Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. I honestly, it's been so long since I've read this book so long. I read it in like 2018. But like it's been a while and I don't remember a lot about Levi other than he's just so kind and he's like a cinnamon bun, and that, if all the other ones haven't told you anything, cinnamon buns are my guilty pleasure. I just love them. They're so nice and they'll just take care of you and they are so considerate, and oh, Levi was like that to Kath in this, and I really loved him in this, from what I remember. I'm gonna have to reread this book soon because I can't remember it very well, but I really enjoyed it when I did, especially because of Levi. Moving straight along and away from book boyfriends, we move into book girlfriends, specifically Lou LeBlanc, who is in here, who is a firecracker. She is amazing. She was the reason why I kept reading this book, because her counterpart Reed was dull as a board for most of this. He was just kind of unbearable. He was so prudish, but like by the end he was fine. But like Lou in this is everything. This is Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahurin, and it follows a witchy girl named Louise LeBlanc. She goes by Lou, and she has to make her way in this world. She left her coven because it was gonna they were gonna kill her, basically. So I don't know. I really don't know where I was going with that tangent, but like Lou is amazing. I love Lou. She just has so much going for her, you know? And she swears so much, and she's just so full of life, and she just has a charisma to her that made me just so attracted to her in these pages, and I just adored her so much. The second book girlfriend I have on this list is Audrey Rose from Stalking Jack the Ripper. I adored her in this. So much more than Thomas Cresswell, who was her counterpart. And I know a lot of people really like Thomas Cresswell, but in this book, I adored Audrey Rose with all my heart. She is a feminist girl in the 1880s, and she is trying to break down these boundaries, and she's trying to get into science, and she's got such an intelligent brain, and she just wants to fight all these men who try to push her down and put her in a cage, and I just love her for that. And she's just so amazing. That's like a consensus across the board with all these characters, but they're just so good. I love her with all my heart, and I really hope that she's okay after this, because this book, she goes through a lot, and I'm really close to picking up the second one soon, so we will find out, and maybe Thomas Cresswell will make his way onto these lists. Who knows, but for now, Audrey Rose is amazing, and I love her. And we're going right back to book boyfriends, because how could I not include my, like, OG biggest one, well, this one and the next one are like my biggest ones on this list. I could not include him, and he is Jem from the Clockwork Angel series, or in other words, the Infernal Devices. I forgot the word for it for a second. Oh my god, Jem. From the moment I picked up these books, he had my heart. Over and over and over. He just continues to have my heart, and I adore his storyline. And these books, this is my favorite trilogy of all time, and what happens in this trilogy broke my heart apart. That I remember when I was first reading this series, my friend told me what happened in the third book, because I asked her. It wasn't like unsolicited book spoiling. I asked her what happened so I could be prepared, and I started breaking down in my high school classroom that we were in for lunch one day, just sobbing, and people were like, "What's wrong with you?" And you know, they didn't understand because it was books, but like, oh, he gets me. He has his musical ability, he has his just unending compassion and his unending love for his best friend and the love of his life, Tessa. I love him so much. I gotta reread this trilogy soon because I need to get more Jem in my life. Oh, I just love him so much. And the last book of boyfriend is quite possibly my favorite one. Again, with all these cinnamon roll-y type book boyfriends that I've had on this list, besides the two girls, actually that's kind of funny, the two girls were like super intense and badass and amazing, and all the boys were like cinnamon rolls, and that's pretty great. Because even the argument could be made for Mr. Darcy being a cinnamon roll, because he doesn't know what he's doing with his life. He's so nervous to be in social situations, and that's such a mood, honestly. But this last book boyfriend that I'm going to talk about today takes the cake out of all of them. He is protective. He is loyal as hell. He is, if I was going to sort him in anything, the biggest Hufflepuff. Just loyal and kind and hardworking, and he follows his dreams, and he's just amazing. And that is Laszlo Strange from Strange the Dreamer. I just love him with all my heart, and it only gets better. In Muse of Nightmares, it only gets better, because our lovely Laszlo, he does things without thinking. Without thinking, he puts himself in danger to save those he loves, and even not people he loves, just to save the people around him. And he would be the most amazing man to have in my life. If I could take any of these men out of their, men or women, out of their pages, I would have to take Laszlo, because he is just, unerringly sweet. And he just loves books like me, and we could have bookish conversations all the time, and he could save me if bad people came around. I don't know, he would just be the best, you know? I'm getting all worked up talking about my book boyfriends, guys. My book boyfriends and girlfriends, but like, woo! Anyways, that's it from me. I gotta rein it in. I gotta go make dinner. I gotta stop filming. And I gotta go dive into another book. Maybe I'll find another book boyfriend somewhere, or book girlfriend. But anyways, guys, I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a comment down below telling me who your book boyfriend or girlfriend is. And make sure, if you really want to, I don't know, to hit that little bell icon so you know when I upload. That would make my heart really happy. And anyways, I'm just beaming because this video was so much fun to film. If I could, I would take all of these characters out of the books and just give them big hugs, because they just make my world so much better, you know? Oh, I just love them. Anyways, I will catch you in another video soon. Make sure to stay kind and keep on reading. Bye, guys.